Hey, Steve Mignani here doing the junkyard crawl at Bernardstown Auto Wrecking with the mean scene stealer herself, Queen Katie of Bernardstown, the junkyard dog. We'll just try to ignore her. Anyway, this is a 1967 Chevy Impala Sport Coupe. Sport Coupe means fastback body. And again, only two model years, 67 and 68 for the big, glorious fastback. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, 67 was a big year for Chevrolet. A total of 1.2 million cars were sold. And despite the arrival of the Camaro in 1967, they still sold over half, or 575,000, full-sized Impalas like this. Now, the Impala was available in all body styles: wagons, 2-doors, 4-doors, convertibles. But again, only the Impala and Impala SS could be had with the fastback body. Now, the thing that's beautiful about the Impala is that it's a full-size car, body on frame. Meanwhile, the Nova and the Camaro were semi-unitized construction. Chevelle, yeah, that was a body on frame car as well. But if you wanted a full-sized American car, you wanted an Impala, or below it, the Biscayne or the Bel Air. But again, if you want that fastback roof, Impala only. Now, this one here has the beautiful grille, which is not in bad condition. It's actually fairly decent. It's a fold-away headlight arrangement right there, kind of cool. This one here, let's see what engine. There would have been either a 250 cubic inch six-banger, or, okay, we see here 164, which tells us this was a V8 tub. 163 would be a six-cylinder car. So which V8? Well, that's the problem. This doesn't tell us. It could have been a 327 or a 396 or a 427. Any one of those engines could have lived right here. Now, this is a fairly austere package. Manual drum brakes up front right here. Here's the dual circuit master cylinder, seen for the first time in 67 instead of the single circuit in 66. And again, this one does have drum brakes up front. But here's the front of that frame, and again, that frame goes all the way back. Here's one of the body mounts here, these sort of rubber biscuits. There are probably about 12 of these, I guess, between the frame and the body theoretically sits like a chariot on top of the ladder frame, the idea giving you a softer, quieter ride than a unitized construction car. The jury is out as to whether or not unitized or body on frame is quieter, depending on which manufacturer you'll listen to. Chrysler would say it's the way to be quiet. GM would say it's the way to make rattles. You decide. But with that said, over 500,000 full-sized Impalas were built. But getting back to this one here, the paint code on this one, we can see the original Marina Blue right here. And on the tag, we see FF, which tells us that this was Marina Blue on the lower and the upper body. So what's up with this white top? Is this a vinyl top? Well, no. This would be, I believe, a W if this was a vinyl top car. This is something that was done by a second owner or perhaps a used car dealer. This is a spray-on white fake vinyl top. You can see they even took the time to install these fake sort of seams that would be seen on an actual vinyl top where the panels overlap. But this is actually a styrofoam-infused paint, similar to trunk Zolatone paint. So somewhere along the line, somebody actually added the fake white vinyl top to this car. It's not vinyl, that's paint. But this was a thing back in the 60s and early 70s to give a car a new look, to make it look like a slightly upscale vinyl-equipped car. But again, the fastback roof on this thing is just a thing of beauty. Super Shane Richardson will switch positions here. You go over there. We'll open the door and see what's happening inside this Impala Sport Coupe. And this one is a bench seat car. No SS equipment in here, no buckets, which would be part of the SS package. This was a column-shifted automatic. There is the large brake pedal there, indicative of an automatic transmission. And again, front bench, rear bench, and you know, a pretty big interior, full-sized American luxury. But again, getting back to the fastback body, let's take a peek here. And this is Motor Trend right here, and we all know the drill, of course. Canceled? What do you mean we're canceled? Anyway, this is the March 67 issue of Motor Trend, and inside we see a comparison of the three popular fastback cars. On the left-hand side, the Ford Galaxy fastback. In the middle, the Impala Super Sport with the fastback body. And of course, on the right, the Plymouth Sport Fury, again, fastback styling. And again, you know, a lot of people think that fastbacks were purely seen on Mustangs and Barracudas and AMC Marlins, but full-size cars had them too. Here's the Ford, the Chevy, and the Plymouth. But again, that beautiful fastback body right there. Very elegant. And Chevy is the only one, if you ask me, that really pulled it off and really kind of had the maximum effect of that fastback. It doesn't look like it was added on. It looks like it was born to be a fastback. You can see it right there. Just a beautiful looking car. This is Super Sport. This one happens to have a 396, but here's the thing. Unlike a Chevelle Super Sport in 67, which was strictly a 396 big block car, you could get a 6-cylinder in your Impala Super Sport in 67. Kind of an interesting little twist. But this one here has the beautiful road wheels on it, the rally wheels, I should say, 15 by 6 inches, and just a great looking car. So big fastbacks were a big part of sales in the 1960s. And again, fastback bodies like this one here, only available on Impala and Impala SS. Meanwhile, the Bel Air and the Biscayne were strictly going to be a 2-door sedan or a post or a hardtop in 2-door land. Now this one here, again, the fastback, only 2 years, 67 and 68. Huge trunk on these. And look at this right here. Here's a sign of the times. This car has been around a while, but it says here, energy, waste not, want not. Undoubtedly, that was applied during the height or the bottom of the energy crisis of the 1970s, when we all had to conserve fuel, keep your house at 59 degrees in the wintertime. It was a depressing time. I was probably 10 years old in 1974 when OPEC was kicking butt, and cars like this were $400. Nobody wanted them. They were too big. They were considered gas hogs. Now look at them. Okay, inside the trunk, all right, there's the original Marina Blue, still looking pretty decent. And again, the trunk underside is always the least affected part of any car. You can see the original shine there, the luster, the Mirror Magic luster, whatever they call that paint on that thing. And inside the trunk, not too bad, minimal rust, yeah, right. Floor is gonzo. But getting back to the full-size Chevys, for 1969, the Chevy sales brochure shows us how the fastback body was eliminated and sadly replaced by the Sport Coupe with a little more vertical-ish roof. So again, 67 and 68 were the only 2 years that the full-size Chevy came with a really graceful full-size fastback. 68, or again, we see right here, or 69, that sort of boxy effect right there. Not to be confused with the true sedan, but that is a semi-fastback. But the full boogie fastback seen here was 67 and 68. And again, these could be had with the SS 427 option, a 4-speed 411s in the back or 373s, you choose. A full-size muscle car, if ever there was one. Now, a lot of people think that muscle cars are based on mid-size platforms, a Chevelle, GTO, etc. But full-size packages like the Impala could certainly be had with just as much power, if not more, than any mid-size Chevelle SS. Now, the 427 in this thing could have had as much as 385 horsepower versus 360 in a Chevelle with a 396. So these things were big, large, and in charge. You can see here on the back quarter panel, the original logo Impala would have gone right here. You can see the running Impala right there. Not a Gazelle, it's an Impala. There's a difference apparently. But here's the logos here, not long since gone. You can see the ghosts of them. And Super Shane, I'm going to show the back seat upright. If you can position yourself, we'll show how the Impala has a very special rear seat. And it speaks to the radio equipment in these things. Yeah, we can see right here, that is what might appear to be a speaker for radio, and that's what it is. Now, you had to pay extra to get the speaker here. If we look on this one here, I'm going to push it down, you'll see that it's empty. So this one was not ordered with the optional rear speaker. But I always like that on the Impala. The back seat was designed to have a speaker, whether it was installed or not. So again, the full-size Chevy right here, there were a total of 575,600 Impalas built in 1967. So, you know, the Chevelle and the Camaro are the ones we think about now, but these big fastbacks like this were certainly part of the picture back in the mid-60s. This one here, probably not going to go anywhere from here, but that's the story of how fastback styling was not applied just to small cars, but also full-size puppies like this 67 Impala Sport Coupe. Now, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Mag's YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, share it with your friends, and be sure to hit the bell, which will notify you when the next Junkyard Crawl video comes out, which is tomorrow morning.